What is corn chip?
Blackpink in your area. Blackpink in your area.
So, the corn chip is similar fried corn chip is the corn chip, which is not made but from a tortilla, but from a corn meal which has been processed into a particular shape, typically a small scoop. The principal difference between the corn in tortilla and corn chip is that the corn in a tortilla chip has undergone a process known as nixtamalization, which involves processing the raw corn with quicklime. Now we will talk about the proximate analysis for this corn chip production. So there have three proximate analyses for this corn chip. First is moisture content. Second is protein content. And lastly, the fat content. To ensure the crispiness of the texture corn chip, the moisture content should be less than 2%. So the lower the moisture content will help to avoid the tough and chewy texture. So for the protein analysis, usually we use the method of Kejadal method. The protein content is ranged between 9.5% to 15.44%. This range is different depends on the type of flour used in making the corn chip. So what we can conclude that the content in the corn chip can easily change as the main ingredient is changed. The fat content is ranged between 21.4% to 25.9%. The fat content in different brand is different fat content. It is because the different type of oil is used for frying. So what we can conclude is the higher the oil or fat content in a corn chip, the stronger the sensory evaluation, so the more palatable of the corn chip is. Now I will explain about the factors affecting of the corn chip production. The first factors affecting is temperature and relative humidity. The types of product will affect the temperature and also the residence times. For example, yellow maize will require lower frying temperature and also longer residence times if we compare with white and also yellow corn. Okay, the second is the types of grinding stone and their adjustment during milling. Okay, stones with deeper groove produce coarser mass, more sturdy structure and absorb less oil during frying. So, the particle size and moisture content affect the physical properties and machinability of the dough. Third is different mesa cutter. During sheeting process, the mass was cut using different mesa cutter. So it produced various snack configuration, for example, circular, triangle shape. The configuration are normally made by size shape or slightly larger than that to assist the consumer and to give the better appearance. Number 4 is effectiveness of cooling process. This will help the effect of the shelf life of corn chip. Second, to reduce risks of chips become soggy and preventing microbial problems. Number 5 is proper moisture content. It determines the consistency of the texture, it produces better appearance and also increase the shelf life. Lastly, the type of equipment used. First, rotating cylinder, drive equipment with spraying system, powder dispenser is helped to facilitate the seasoning process. And then the other example is like cooker and also sheeter plays an important role in quality and control the corn chip production. So now let's take a look how the corn chip is produced in manufacturing.
On their own, dipped in salsa or guacamole, or topped with chili and melted cheese, tortilla chips are the quintessential Mexican snack, even though they're actually an American invention. In the late 1940s, a Los Angeles tortilla factory began cutting and frying leftover tortillas, selling the first tortilla chips. When the chips are down, they usually go fast. Tortilla chips start out as raw yellow corn. The supplier cleans the kernels and dries them to a moisture content of 14%, then ships them to the chip factory. There, the corn goes into large stainless steel cooking kettles filled with almost boiling water. Workers then add lime, an ingredient that does many things. It's antibacterial, it gives the corn a parched flavor, it helps loosen the hull, the kernel's shell, so it will come off later on, and lets moisture penetrate the kernel. Each cook kettle contains about 300 kilograms of corn and 90 kilos of water and lime combined. Next stop is a soak tank. The cooked corn sits there for 12 hours to further absorb water. Once the moisture content hits 45% and the hulls are soft and loose, a pumping system moves the corn to the washer. This machine strains the water so that what's left is just soft, hydrated corn. The next stop is the tumbler, a rotating drum with perforated walls. Water jets blow off the loose hulls. The corn travels on a conveyor from the tumbler to the mill. An auger feeds the corn into a stone grinder. It literally pulverizes the corn kernels between two stones, producing a soft corn dough called masa. The masa exits the mill through a narrow nozzle that shapes the dough into a thin sheet. The sheet then runs through rollers that have triangular dies on their surface. The triangles move into an oven heated to 340 degrees Celsius. They spend just 16 seconds inside, but that's enough time to dry the dough to the point where it won't break apart when handled. The heat also traps tiny pockets of moisture in the dough, creating little blisters. This gives the tortilla chips their trademark bumpy texture. From the oven, a conveyor belt transports the triangles to the fryer. The corn oil is 182 degrees Celsius. They take just 55 seconds to fry into chips. A mesh conveyor belt then lifts them out. As they leave, the excess oil drains back into the fryer. At the next stop, augers feed nacho flavor seasoning into a tumbler. The seasoning's main ingredients are powdered cheddar, Parmesan, and Romano cheeses, and spices. Nozzles spray the chips with corn oil to make the surface adhesive. Then the seasoning tumbles on and sticks. After exiting the tumbler, the chips travel to the packaging department. Chutes route them to different packaging machines. The packaging equipment represents technical choreography at its finest. Each machine has 14 bucket-shaped scales. When there's enough for one package, a trapdoor opens. The chips drop, just as a forming device shapes a piece of foil and plastic film into a bag. The chips land in the bag, then a heat sealer immediately closes the top and cuts it free, while simultaneously sealing the bottom of the next bag. From bucket to bag to bowl.
I hope you guys get the useful information about the corn chip production. Thanks for watching.